I think the next few days are really, really crucial because we know that Al Hilal are prepared to pay around £100 million to sign Bruno Fernandes. They're prepared to pay him around £700,000 a week to make him one of the most highest paid players in world football. It's our understanding that Bruno Fernandes still hasn't made a decision about whether he wants a new challenge and to leave Manchester United for Saudi Arabia. We understand that he's speaking with his family because not only is it going to be a big move for him, it's clearly going to be a huge move for his family as well. So I think these are really, really crucial days, Mike, with regard to the future of Bruno Fernandes. As far as Manchester United are concerned, they do not want to sell Bruno Fernandes. They haven't received a formal offer as yet. And I'm told that they will only consider any kind of offer for Bruno Fernandes if, of course, an offer comes in, but if Bruno Fernandes makes it clear to them and communicates to them that he does indeed want to seek a new challenge. So that is a situation that Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United find themselves in at the moment. You could argue, look, on the pitch, they can barely afford to do without him because of how he performed last season. Where would they have been had Bruno Fernandes not performed like he did? But then off the pitch, you kind of have to ask yourself the question, can they afford not to accept a bid that is worth around £100 million for someone who's going to be 31 in September? He's got 2 years left on his contract at Manchester United. He signed it quite recently. It runs until 2027. United clearly don't want to sell, but if Bruno Fernandes makes noises, I want to see what they've got to say, see what they offer, then Manchester United will then weigh it up.
It's really interesting.
As you said, is wedded to this 3-4-2-1 formation that he is stuck with from minute one, from when the first game came around against Ipswich Town at Portman Road in the Premier League. And people were speculating, well, he probably won't go three at the back because United are used to four. He said, no, this is how I want my team to play, and this is going to be my formation. He's basically effectively saying, if they didn't want to play three at the back, they needn't have employed me. So Manchester United went into that appointment with their eyes wide open. And I think Matheus Cunha is a player that Ruben Amorim will see and how he's performed at Wolves in the formation that Manchester United play, in the formation that Ruben Amorim wants to play, and think he'll fit right in here at Old Trafford.
But interesting how he does fit in as well, what the ramifications are for Bruno Fernandes if indeed he stays. Does he drop back to deeper in midfield as he's played a little bit this season? Now, will this be the first of many for Amorim this summer, both in terms of ins and outs?
Yeah, when you said first of many, I'm glad you've said ins and outs, because I think it is going to be a pretty busy summer for Manchester United. You've got a few players who are out of contract anyway, who've already said their goodbyes. We're not going to see Christian Eriksen and Victor Lindelof and Johnny Evans, you don't think, in a Manchester United shirt again. They came to the end of their contracts. And then there's so much uncertainty surrounding a few of their other players. You've got Marcus Rashford, who went on loan to Aston Villa. Aston Villa had an option to buy him for £40 million. It doesn't look like that they're going to take up that option. They haven't got Champions League football for next season. Marcus Rashford would want to play Champions League football next season. There's all sorts of talk about Rashford and Barcelona. Will they come in with an offer? Will they come in with a permanent offer? Will they pay the £40 million that Manchester United want? Or will it indeed be another loan with a view to buying him on a permanent basis come the summer? Then there's Antony, performed so well at Real Betis, and I think Manchester United will probably think, actually, this was a good move for all parties, this move to Real Betis, because if they were to try and sell him on a permanent basis in January, I'm not sure how much money Manchester United would have got on him and how much they would have recouped of that £80 million they paid to Ajax a couple of summers ago. But he's performed so well for Real Betis, was instrumental in helping them get into the Europa Conference League final, which they didn't win, of course, because they lost to Chelsea. But I wonder what that would have done for their value for Antony. Also, Jadon Sancho, he's been on loan at Chelsea. We think that now Chelsea will try and renegotiate his contract, and because they're not going to be able to afford the wages that he's on at Manchester United, they want him to fit into Chelsea's wage structure. Will they be able to do that and then trigger the £23.5 million permanent sale that Manchester United would want? Or will they say thanks but no thanks and then pay the penalty, which we think is around £5 million to Manchester United for not taking up that obligation? And then there's Alejandro Garnacho as well. hasn't been enamouring. I don't think United are too pleased with some of his social media posts of late, particularly the one after the post-season tour of Asia.
Didn't start the Europa League final.
And went on social media to complain about the fact that he only got 20 minutes in that final as well, having played a major part in the previous rounds. He could be one to watch as well. Chelsea were trying to sign him in January. Will they go back in for him? There's talk of maybe Napoli being interested in Garnacho as well. So it looks like there's going to be a number of ins at United, but a huge number of outs as well.
Welcome back to Sport Lab, where we break down the transfer window chaos. Manchester United fans, buckle up. This summer is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic in years, with major decisions looming over Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Antony, Jadon Sancho, and Alejandro Garnacho. Let's unpack it. Bruno Fernandes, £100 million decision looming. Saudi giants Al Hilal are ready to drop £100 million on Bruno Fernandes, offering him a staggering £700,000 per week salary, one of the biggest paydays in world football. Bruno hasn't decided yet. He's still talking it over with his family. United do not want to sell and haven't received an official bid, but they might reconsider if Bruno himself says he's ready for a new challenge. Key facts. Age, 31 in September. Contract, runs until 2027. Value, could United turn down £100 million for an aging star? Matheus Cunha to United, Amorim's system piece. Incoming manager Ruben Amorim wants to stick with his 3-4-2-1 formation, the same one he's always used. Enter Matheus Cunha, targeted from Wolves, who fits this system perfectly. But if Bruno stays, does he shift deeper in midfield? Expect this to be the first of several moves as Amorim reshapes the squad. Big exits incoming. United have multiple players heading out. Christian Eriksen, Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans contracts expiring. Marcus Rashford loaned to Aston Villa. Barca are sniffing around, but no deal yet. Antony loan at Real Betis boosted his value. United may finally get a decent sale. Jadon Sancho, Chelsea want to keep him, but need to renegotiate wages. United stand to make £23.5 million if Chelsea buy, or £5 million penalty if they back out. Alejandro Garnacho tensions with the club after Europa League final snub and social media gripes, Chelsea and Napoli both circling. So, United fans, Amorim's era is already shaking things up. Will Bruno take the Saudi millions? Will Rashford end up at Barca? And can United cash in on players like Antony and Sancho to fund a summer rebuild? Hit subscribe, like this video, and drop your comments. Right finger, should United cash in on Bruno now? Right finger, who should they target next? We'll be back soon with updates on City, Spurs, Newcastle, and more, only here on Sport Lab.